जयपुर वाया कोटा
कृपया ध्यान आपो अहमदाबाद
दिल्ली में आपका स्वागत
Lucknow Junction.
ನಿಲ್ದಾಣದ ಕಡೆಗೆ ಹೊರಟಿರುವರೆ
হায়দ্রাবাদ উপচার এক্সপ্রেস পরবর্তী স্টেশন নেতাজি ভবন कृपया ध्यान दियो
Well, they've done it, and they've done it rather smoothly, haven't they? The home team, the Knight Riders, have beaten Lucknow for the first time in the history of this tournament. I'm still going with that.
Wow.
Tell me the lie. Where's the lie?
There is no lie, but it's over surely now. Come on. It's too many times.
But what about the one winner, the consistent winner?
So that's the thing. It doesn't matter which team loses, Gautam Gambhir always wins. Ding, 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 ding. Cue Dawn title track. All right, well, that's it. Yes, it's been 4 games. The previous 3 were won by Lucknow. This 4th one has been won by Kolkata. And, well, I think you can give them 2 wins and a gift voucher for this because it's just been so easy. In fact, Gilly, it's been a little too easy.
Yeah, it was some poor decision making in that back half by the skipper, Rahul. You guys touched on it in the com box at the halfway mark. Mosen had his tail up. They had to get wickets. You've just got to have a bit more nous, a bit more match awareness.
Yep.
And again, there might be plans, there might have things, preconceived ideas, but you need to know how to roll with it when things don't go according to plan and grab a hold of opportunity. And on the flip side, that's exactly what Phil Salt did do. He grabbed the opportunity. Yeah. He seized the moment, that one moment, that millimetre of a no ball. That changed the whole complexion, didn't it? And then he continued on his merry way. Some things went his way, but he played with great conviction. And I think we spoke about it out the back, didn't we? Jason Roy, unfortunately, didn't get here. What a get for Kolkata.
Yeah, it really has been a blessing in disguise. A player dropping out, and the player that you can pick up in his place as a replacement is Phil Salt and the kind of form that he's in. And I love that Gilly touched on the point that a little millimetre, because we always talk about the margins being so tiny. Geez, can't get tinier than that. That's almost you can't even see that unless you're microscopic.
Yeah, and it's all about that first point of landing. That it's such a hard one now. And I mean, even the third umpire at times doesn't always get it right. I mean, they get a couple of looks and they've got to decide before the next ball's bowled as well. So, you can slow it down, you can look closely. It was a no ball. I get that. The second one, I don't think we saw enough of the second one that they were talking about in commentary, whether that was or not. I just think there's so much technology around the sport nowadays. Why is there no just a sort of a direct line,
like a laser
or something? I don't know. Why can you not put something in the back of bowlers' boots?
Yeah,
I don't. There must be a sensor. There must be something you can do nowadays where bowlers' boots have a sensor, and then or something along those lines. I don't know. Maybe I'm pushing it too far, but
no, I don't think you're getting Star Trekky about it at all. By the way, just with the line, and they have it at Wimbledon, right? If it goes out, there's a beep that goes.
But Hawkeye are able to do all that with the tennis ball. And the track in and stuff. I don't know. We can't be too far away from something like that. And it hasn't cost them the game. It's just been.
Just give people some context of what we are saying. There was first over bowled by Shamar Joseph, playing his first game, bowls his first 5 balls for 8 runs, and finishes the over at 22. So one ball has cost 14 runs. And please mark this in your mind, because this is going to be a question in many cricket quizzes in the next few years, all right? Of how one ball can give away 14 runs. And that happened because of a no ball. But and it's how small things are. And that's why we're harping on it, because it can change so much, right?
Well, absolutely. The 6th ball of that over was the one, the ball that ended up being a no ball.
Yeah.
But not only that, it was tucked off the hip from Phil Salt and dropped at short, fine leg.
Yeah.
So they're the margins. Phil Salt could have been gone for, he was on naught, I think, at the time.
Yeah.
And he ends up 89 not out and wins the game. So they are fine margins. Just reflecting a bit on that, again, on that initial comment about Rahul, and now that we're talking about Shamar Joseph, GK, you said it.
Yeah.
Give him another over.
Yeah.
The young boys just come into the game, none for 22. It could have gone either. Go again. It still looked like he had the capacity to take a wicket, even though he's spraying them everywhere by the end of it.
Yeah.
And so again, match awareness. He went with the spinner of Krunal and he got belted.
You could feel as if you're Shamar Joseph, if you're a bowler at the time, it's almost like you're getting penalised for that one ball.
Yeah.
When you don't get to bowl the third.
Yeah, and it'll hurt, and it'll hurt him. And, there's nerves, there's all sorts of things going through Shamar Joseph's mind. I mean, he's just had a pretty meteoric rise to stardom. Obviously, that test match sent him on his way. He got picked up as an injury replacement. Was it Mark Wood was supposed to go to Lucknow, I think.
Yep.
So he got picked up as an injury replacement. Coming into the tournament first game, he just striving to bowl quick. He wants to make an impression. And there's so much going through that body, I'm sure, and that mind and worry, and then that little no ball, and it cost a lot. He thought he had a catch on offer. Obviously, it wouldn't have been anyway. But then he just, then he 5 wides down leg side. He's just trying to bowl quick, trying to get the job done. And one ball, and I agree, I think just give him that next over. He would have felt terrible having to sit out, but he did come back and bowl relatively well.
So it's not like they were changing ends for him. Like he came back in the fifth, and the first and then the fifth.
Yeah, but they needed wickets. Even if they were 4 down for 65, 70 in the power play, it actually would have been better off. Because they just needed to keep taking wickets. You just can't control that Kolkata batting lineup without taking wickets.
Yeah, and he bowled the fifth, so we were happy about that. But then the sixth didn't go to Mohsin, who had bowled 2 tight overs. So, Lucknow gave me plenty to go, what's going on in the power play? I think we need to talk about that because he looked spectacular today, Gilly. Mohsin coming in, that left arm, he looked dangerous.
He surely did. I mean, that height. I haven't seen a lot of his bowling. I said to you guys, tell me a bit about him and, quite the story and the journey that he'd been on. But he just looked threatening. The height, moving it across the right-hander, and the stats don't lie there. He was very impressive, 12 dots. So he was holding the fort while the carnage around him was happening. So there was, again, evidence a bit like at the flip side that Shreyas Iyer did do well, the decision-making around Mitchell Starc. Give him the third. Yeah. Just trust that little bit of gut feel.
And they got him back in the 12th over, Dooley. It's just too late.
Yeah, it was just a little bit too late there. He's another guy that, he's got Indian duty in the future, but he just needs to get through game after game after game. He just needs to get some overs into that body. He's just missed what he played 2 seasons ago and then got injured. Missed all of last season for various reasons, and it's good to see him back. Played game number 1, I think, game 1 and 2, and got injured. And he's just back again today. So he's just got to get through some games, get through a season. If he can play 8 games, 9 games out of the 14 and just work on that body, make sure he keeps that body fit, and then get through another season, get through some domestic cricket. He's got some real talent. He's probably just half a yard slower than he was in year number 1 when we saw him. He actually had genuine pace in and around the early 140s and was dangerous. He looked so good first time we saw him out in 2022. So if he can just start to get some game time under his belt, get some overs through, and that's where, we talked about the situation with a couple of the guys missing out on their central contracts the other day. That's where I think the 4-day cricket, the Ranji Trophy cricket, has a big part to play. And it's not about bowling 25 overs in a day. But it's just about bowling 3 or 4 spells. If you can bowl 3 or 4 spells of 4 overs, 5 overs, just get through 15 in a day, but spend time in your legs, get through some overs. Just get your body back to bowling fit. And I think that's one of the issues I see nowadays with a lot of the guys who just choose to play T20 cricket. They're not really bowling fit.
Good point.
You haven't got a lot of overs under your belt if that's all you're choosing to do. And it's such a tough... I'm sure Glenn was probably one of those guys. Would have got a little bit of time in the gym later in his career, but he was just bowling fit.
Just keep going. Just keep on getting. In fact, we hear that about Mohammad Shami a lot, right? We hear that about Mohammad Shami, that no gym, nothing, just run and bowl, run and bowl, and that's what. It's very old school, that kind of thinking, but that's the thing.
I think you just got to combine it nowadays. I think the gym strength work is great. I really do. I don't think it's almost gone too far that way. You've still got to have that bowling fitness under your belt.
And of course, the Knight Riders, they've missed the top spot by just a bit on the net run rate. I think by a ball or 2, if I'm not wrong. But I don't think I don't think they'll care. They're at 8 points right now. Oh wait, sorry, Rajasthan's at 10. Yeah, so it's not net run rate. Sorry, they are at 8 with 5 games. Rajasthan, of course, is at 10 with 6 games. So they do have a game, but they'll be very happy with this performance, Gilly, because with the ball, they'd be happy with what they did with the ball. They'd be very happy with what they did with the bat for 2 reasons. One is Phil Salt, of course, being destructive, 89 not out of 47. But they'll be happy that even though Shreyas looked a little scratchy, he'll be better for these 38 balls spent in the middle.
Without doubt. Yeah, that's just nice time just to, they say, hours of net time never match being out in the middle, regardless of the run rate or anything. He didn't need to be worried about run rate.
Yeah.
The bloke at the other end was steering the game. So, so important that they started that run of 5 games now at home, or 4 more. So what an intimidating thing that, whether it's perception or reality, to go up there as an opponent and having seen that and seeing the king there, SRK, whipping the crowd up and everything that goes with it. So it was a real performance. It was professional right from the start. Starc, that's a big tick. Salt, big tick. As you say, Shreyas Iyer, not as big a tick, but it's push in the right direction. Narayan with his bowling. It was just outstanding. So, that they played. The captain did say, we know our conditions at home well, and they played like that. It looked like a statement that they were then, you can talk it, but to go out and walk it post that was a fantastic statement to the rest of the tournament.
He talked earlier in the tournament, didn't he, about playing the anchor role? And I joked a little bit about it. I think we were on together that night when he said, my job in this team is to play the anchor role. And, we sort of talk so often about the fact that anchor role, and the only anchor you need is Gaurav Kapur. Well, you don't need an anchor. You don't need an anchor in the game of cricket. Just when you're talking about cricket. But tonight was a perfect example of being able to do that, because the run chase was under control, as Gilly said. And I think with the power that's around him, he'll want to end up the season with a strike rate of 135, 140 minimum, I would say. But tonight's innings was crucial for him just to get some game time, just to get some runs under the belt, and to be not out. That we talked about in the combox. Just get a little 40 not out. It'll do you the world of good, because you're going to win comfortably anyway as long as Salt's going at the other end. But, he's talked about that being his role. Wasn't sure whether I believed him at the time, but he's played it now. He's played it now.
I think today, like you're saying, contextually, if you put all numbers in context, always do with cricket. And the context today was that they didn't really need to find, or Shreyas didn't need to find another gear, because Phil Salt was kind of, cruising in 6th gear, and he was just, screaming down the highway. And the other thing and we're talking about home conditions and the fact that they're playing 5 games at home. Think about the fear they've put into all the visiting teams now, who are thinking, if we have to bat first, what's a good total for this Knight Riders batting lineup? Because they'll look at the numbers as well and say, wait, they got it with 4 overs and more to spare, but the captain's got like a runner ball because he could afford to. So now if the captain's not going at a runner ball and the target's bigger, this team's good enough to get 210, 220, 230. What's enough? And that plays on your mind.
And you got Rinku Singh and
Dre Russ
sitting in the sheds.
And Venkatesh Iyer. Who's not the worst, and Ramandeep as well. So, we talked about them maybe getting 3 wins. If they got 3 out of the 5 at home, they would be on 12 points. Well, they only need 2 from 4 now. You put that one to bed. And the other thing is, I think what Gilly said with SRK there, geeing the crowd up, there'll be more. Next time it'll be a night game. Next one, I think it's 2 days' time. They go today and again in 2 days' time. So night game, more people in that stadium, more support for them. And the more they can do that and just build on it, and they just little half an hour bus ride, put your feet up for a couple of days and then come back and play. They're not getting on a plane for 15 days. It's just... So they've started absolutely perfectly in how they wanted to start their little home run.
Exactly. And for everybody at Eden Gardens and all the Knight Riders fans watching, it has been Shubho Novovarsho. That's right. A Happy New Year to everyone. What a good start this has been. A very comprehensive win by the home team today. All right, there was plenty of cool moments in the field. Not if you're a Lucknow player, but there was plenty of cool moments otherwise in the field. And we'll have a look at them. It's Carrier Room Air Conditioner's coolest moment of the match. And we've got our picks. So, who goes first? Pick one.
Well, I think we're in agreement. All in the same agreement, aren't we? The catch behind point, Ramandeep. It was just absolutely superb. I mean, flying across, 2 hands to it. It was a brilliant catch. I mean, they're not easy behind point because they sometimes slice and they spin a little bit. You can sort of they can hit you higher on the hands because they spin in towards your hand. So he's done a great job there. So I thought that was probably the coolest moment. He made it look pretty easy.
I agree. It was more than just the first wicket for the team. It was the wicket for Mitchell Starc, which then makes him a little bit more buoyant.
Yeah.
And it lifts the crowd and it gets everyone off on the right foot. So, yeah, a big statement, a great piece of athleticism. And that sets the tone. That set the tone for the game for them, not just for the fielding, but for the game.
Yeah, for sure. We've got a few that have come in from our viewers as well. These are some of the tweets. Let's have a look. Bring them up on screen. There you go. The GOAT Narayan spell without... Oh, that's a good one as well. Without giving a boundary. Forget boundary. He didn't even give 2 runs. Yeah, only dots and singles.
Yeah.
High quality bowling. Agree with you, Godzilla. Anyway, you're Godzilla, so we would not risk disagreeing with you. Soradeep Roy, don't mind a bit of extra salt in my food today, has solved that opening conundrum for Kolkata, and how coolest moment for me. He's my player to watch out for, so I agree. Things are getting salty. Kolkata winning on Bengali New Year, coolest moment for me for sure. We just said that as well. That's pretty cool. Obin Chakravarti, we just all seem to be in agreement about this. Yeah. Don't get salty, the two of you, because I picked Salt as my player to watch out for. He's done well.
Cool.
Very good.
Well, same team here.
All on the same team.
But yeah, let's just talk about, we spoke about it earlier as well, but for the people joining us now, that Narayan spell, Connect 4, with all the singles, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1. It's a bit like the binary, right? It's like the Matrix, so 0, 1. Just brilliant spell.
How did you guys talk about him when you come up against Sunil Narayan? What was the conversation about how to play him and how was best to play him?
From the other end, for me, I had real trouble picking him. I really did. And then it was coming in. By the time you're concentrating on the hand, it's on you. Because he could get some real pace in there. But I thought he, in any team meeting in the years that I was against him, which wasn't a long, it was only a couple, but one of those, don't let him damage you, don't let him really take you out of the game, take the team out of the game. So, yeah.
None for 25.
Exactly.
None for 20s even.
Yeah.
You're not, it's a bit like Rashid's.
Yeah.
You know,
exactly.
you're looking at going, if we don't give him a wicket, we're kind of taking him out of the game, even if he only goes for 20 25
24
runs.
or something like that.
Yeah.
But, that's a great graphic, isn't it? That's just sums it all up.
Love it.
Really there.
Should I do the joke again for people who've just joined? The
go
only
one
time
more.
I've seen more singles bunched up together is in a Delhi nightclub.
Oh,
Boom!
Glad you got the right line out there. That was good. I'm just I know we're going to move on to the big El Clasico in a moment, but just thinking of the Carrier air conditioners, I can see it on the screen behind you.
Yeah.
I tell you who's not cool at the moment, who's someone that needs one of those, because it's going to be feeling the heat. Welcome to the world of IPL coaching, Justin Langer.
Oh, yeah.
They lost their first game, I think. So, okay, everyone goes, well, first game, no dramas. And then they win a couple. Oh, here we go. But to then lose 2 on the trot, that's where you really need to take control of the mood and the atmosphere within your franchise, because it can spiral. Because owners can start coming and asking a few questions, and it really can be a challenge.
It's a tough gig.
Yeah.
You know, it's a thankless gig because you're man managing.
Yeah.
You're not going to change someone's technique or bowling style in 8 weeks. You are man managing and trying to find the combination that works best for you on the field. You must have a great relationship with your captain, and that has to work really well, and it's a tough business.
You've got to, you as a coach and a captain, you've got to carry the team together, and that makes you a carrier. So you've got to be cool. That was our Carrier room air conditioners coolest moment of the match. Yes. And now from the cool, we're going to the hot. It's the hot ticket. It's Mumbai v Chennai happening at the Wankhede Stadium. What you did not see off camera was Gilly going
Bring it on.
Warming the gloves up, he's ready to take a few.
Because here it comes. I'll show you the points table and show you exactly where everyone is. As I told you, Kolkata, of course, has gone up now. They're 8 points from their 5 games, so they'll be happy, and they'll have Rajasthan in their eyes because one more game, they get that win at home, they can go to 10. For Lucknow, things, they're 3-3. So I'm sorry, I said they're 2-4. They're 3-3. So it's 6. They're kind of in the middle, but they would have really liked that win today to make a play for that 1-2. For Mumbai, they are today is a chance for them to make it 3-3 and stick themselves into that middle muddle. And Chennai will also be looking at getting a win today and then kind of staying up. So it's quite interesting. Both teams having kind of different motivations. Chennai making a play for that 1-2 and Mumbai trying to make a play for the middle. Let me tell you what has happened in the toss real quick. Well, it is Mumbai who won the toss and have decided to bowl first. So Chennai going to be batting, right? Mumbai unchanged, no problem.
Yep.
We've been harping on this, that their 11 is really good. So they're sticking with that. This is their bowling team. So there you go. There's, of course, no Surya in this because he'll come in as an impact sub, maybe for Shreyas Gopal, but they're bowling first. So let's have a look at their bowlers. Jasprit Bumrah, the bank of Bumrah, as I like to call him. Yep. Gerard Coetzee is still there. Akash Madhwal, Romario Shepherd, Hardik Pandya. Those are the quicks. And for the spin option, well, you have Shreyas Gopal and you have Mohammad Nabi. Extra reinforcement required will not happen. Tilak Verma and Tim David can still bowl, but yeah, that's not going to happen. So there you go. That's theirs. And the change that has happened for Chennai is we called it. We called it. We called it, yeah. We said Pathirana's fit. And we said that he'll play in place of the spinner. So Pathirana in place of Tikshana. And they need him here, right? They need him here. Their impact will be... Tikshana will be, So Tikshana's in the impact list, as is Pathirana. Are they both there, right? There's no Pathirana.
Yeah. Matisha Pathirana.
Yeah, he's there.
Nishant Sindhu, Mitchell Santner, Moeen Ali and Sheikh Rashid. So no...
Three overseas starting
there.
So
Pathirana will come in.
There's no Tikshana in the
which is what we said.
Yeah.
Pathirana is into the impact sub, so he will come in.
Yeah, so let's look at their batting. Their captain Rituraj Gaikwad at the top with Rachin Ravindra. Ajinkya Rahane, he's fit. He's playing in Mumbai. Of course, his home ground. Daryl Mitchell, Shivam Dubey, Sameer Rizvi, Ravindra Jadeja, MS Dhoni, Shardul Thakur, Mustafizur Rahman, Tushar Deshpande. They've got the 3 aeroplanes, as you can see there, which means they'll get another one in. Now they've got a choice. It's quite interesting, right? Because you can look at how this surface is playing. You can get in Pathirana, you can also get in Santner. I doubt they'll get Santner because they've already got 2 left-arm finger spinners in both the Ravindras. So Santner would be more of same. It probably looks like they'll play Pathirana because that's the kind of... You want these slingers on a Wankhede kind of pitch.
Well, outside of that, the Fiz, Deshpande and Shardul Thakur are their 3 seam bowling options. If they wanted to use Dubey, if they got in trouble with the bat, they could bring Moeen Ali in if they wanted to. I don't think they would.
Their batting is pretty long. I mean,
they bat along, long way down.
I mean, if MS is listed at 8, and this is their batting team.
He's
right?
listed
it's
at
not
8.
even,
No.
So he's listed at 8. So these are the kind of options that they play with, right? These are the kind of options that Chennai always goes with in terms of all-rounders, which means batting, MS Dhoni batting at number 8 is a pretty handy option, right?
Yeah, and that's where, interesting bowling first. I just wondered whether they might have wanted to, they've just got the momentum going with the bat. Wondered whether they might have decided to bat first and try to really stun a visiting team with a big score, big first. But
they've done both in the last 2 games, right?
And made as equally big statement in both innings, didn't they? Chasing and then the big launch in that one against
that ground, isn't it? Because of the size of the ground, and if there is a little bit of dew, it's just such a good chasing ground.
And again, it's playing on Chennai's mind, right? Batting first, Mumbai 2 games ago, 234. Batting second, get it done at a rate of 12 and a half, right? So Chennai is right. And I know that Chennai is not that kind of team. You don't win 5 trophies by having muddled thought. No. They're not that kind of team who's going to think too much about, second guess, how much can they get? They just go out and bat the conditions.
And they'll assess the situation. The best guy to do it's the skipper. He's out there at the top. If you put a score on the board, batting first, like a proper score, and you put the opposition under pressure, then you're every chance. So they've got to do that, though. Ravindra needs to score runs at the top of the order. Rituraj just coming off that fine half-century in the previous game. If he can continue on that form, as you say, they bat deep, they've got power. I'd expect maybe Nabi to have one in the power play.
Ooh, interesting.
at Rachin Ravindra.
Yeah.
I'd expect him to just, get an over out of him. The other thing about bowling first in these sort of conditions is you do allow your spinners a dry ball for probably the first 15 overs.
Yeah.
So you can get them into the game a little bit. And Mumbai doesn't take a huge amount of turn, but what it does offer is bounce.
Yeah.
So the spinners can play a role there.
Yeah, there's a couple of Mumbai lads who are in the Chennai batting lineup, in fact, in the Chennai 11. But the one who perhaps will relish these conditions a lot, smaller ground, hit the big sixes, it's Shivam Dube. I mean, Shivam Dube can hit big sixes even on big grounds, so on smaller grounds, he's even more destructive. But there you go. And this is just him against spin, right?
Stephen Fleming, the coach, is calling for him to have a boarding pass.
Yeah, he's got a boarding pass for me.
He's in.
Yeah, Dooley's given him one.
Yeah.
I'll tell you who all has given him. It's a good lineup, yeah? Stephen Fleming, Simon Doull, and Yuvraj Singh.
Right,
It's three people who've given him a boarding pass to the World Cup.
Yeah.
It's a good lineup.
Well, it's power, isn't it? That's what it's based on, just sheer power. Even with slower balls off quicks or against spin, he's just got such a good leverage and such confidence and fluent swing. So he's a modern day T20 cricketer, and that's what I guess thinking about the World Cup in India, they need to work out what their philosophy is and how they go about it, and we start bringing in strike rates and the way guys build in innings, or can they launch straight away at any time. So yeah, it'll be interesting, but he'll play a key role tonight. There's no doubt about that.
I can guarantee you that Shreyas Gopal and Mohammad Nabi are not going to bowl 8 overs.
Yeah.
No.
That's not going to happen.
I mean, look, with his height, Dubé might even get an over tonight.
Oh, yeah. When they're bowling, yeah.
Yeah, when they're bowling. You might even get an over or two out of him, just with his height.
They just don't, though. I mean, I'm just saying that they haven't.
They tend to just stick with that bowling lineup.
It's the impact sub, I'm telling you.
Yeah.
It's the impact sub rule.
Correct.
That has taken a lot of part-time, sort of
the
kind of
all-rounder
bowlers out of the
role.
game.
Yeah.
It's just taken them out of the game. Hell, for Mumbai, it's taken the captain out of the game. Right? I mean, Hardik Pandya has not been bowling the last few games, which, Dooley, I know you called it because I read this quote. Actually, you've got to check these days if the quote is really yours. Where you said he bowled the opening over in the first game and then he didn't bowl after that. So maybe there's still a little trouble in that body.
And he still looked a little, for want of a better term, ginger the other day. It was struggling a little bit. So maybe it just looked a little like groin, lower back again, something along those lines. But he wasn't getting through the crease at all when he bowled the other night. So it'll be interesting to see if he can back up again and bowl an over or two tonight.
The thing with Chennai is they haven't really got a big score in a few games now, right? They haven't got a big score. Would you then, as Mumbai coach, captain, management, say, let me just unleash Bumrah up front in the power play? Because if he can take this opening partnership, which is low on scores, if he can rattle them, then we're right in it. The cat is amongst the pigeons, as they say.
Most definitely. Yeah. I am tonight. Just the build up to this game, the first clash in this IPL season between the two. Chennai have been observing exactly what Bumrah's been doing. I'm without doubt unleashing him straight away. Try and just get that upper hand. Imagine what that'd do to the crowd and the engagement. But there's no reason to push him back and allow anything to chance before he has a chance. He has a go at making an impact. Yeah. I'm throwing in there. I think it's a great call.
Yeah, because, and also the confidence. Not that Bumrah needs more confidence, but coming on the back of his previous game, right? Just give him the first over.
As we said last game, best on best. They knew that Kohli's wicket was the key for RCB.
And we spoke about it in the game.
They knew it was the key. We talked about it. And get him on. He gets a little inside edge, just cramps him for room a little bit. Good catch, Ishan Kishan. So I would expect him to bowl 1 or 2. Either the first or the second over.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure he'll bowl another one in the power play. Yeah. But I'm thinking, 1 or 2, 12, 18, 20, if it goes that far.
Yeah. I'm going to ask you, it's a very difficult question in terms of the answer can take 15 to 20 minutes, but if you could just do it in slightly shorter, is what makes Bumrah special?
He's got everything, really, hasn't he?
That's a good answer.
He's got pace. He can bowl. He can take a ball pretty much both ways. He can if it does even start to reverse swing in various conditions, maybe. But so he's got the bouncer because he's quick enough, but then he's just got that lethal Yorker, and just unconventional, so very challenging to pick up as a batter who hasn't faced him a lot. I said at the start, he's got everything.
Yeah. That's nice. I like that answer. It's good. He's got everything. Well, I tell you that Chennai has thrown a bit of a doozy, yeah? Look at them. The opening combination, they never break it. They've broken it today. It's Ajinkya Rahane who's accompanying Rachin Ravindra to open the batting.
No, Rutu.
Yeah, no captain opening. So that's pretty interesting. Interesting things. I'm telling you, the games, it looks like Mohammad Nami is going to be bowling the first over. There's things, there you go. There's things going on. This game is going to be amazing.
Well, I'll tell you what, Hardy could want to make sure this opening over works because the crowd, anything could happen. But
Nice.
I mean, the good thing about Jinx, he's a touch player.
Yeah.
Lightning quick outfield. You know, as long as he doesn't try and go too silly and hit everything over the top. He's a lovely touch player and timer of the ball, and he knows the conditions so well.
Of course, it's a Mumbai boy, so he knows how to play here. All right, we're going to do our score guesses. Very difficult. Geez, if Mumbai was batting first, we could have just easily said 210, 220, 230. And just. But with Chennai batting first...
I'll go in at 195.
Ooh, below 200. So you're obviously going for Mumbai for the win then.
Yeah, I've got to go above it. 223.
223. So I'll go 209. That's me. 209. All right, those are our score guesses.
Well done, too.
Yeah.
Oh, I got the previous one
You got the
correct.
previous one right.
Yes.
Well done, well done.
And if I wasn't so hospitable, I would have got a bullseye. It's just that my guests said,
See all that
bring it down.
throwing them off their game stuff you did to me on night one that I was here.
Well
Back
done.
at you.
You're paying back.
Yes.
He's
Nothing
paying back.
like a chirpy wicketkeeper.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
Just a polite suggestion, that's all I
It's not
said.
all angelic, man. Just don't go by how it looks. All right, well, we're going to see you at the end of the 10th over with the Combox. I'll see how Chennai is going with their batting. Thank you so much for watching Cricbuzz Live. Big thank you to Simon Doull and Adam Gilchrist. I'm Gaurav Kapur. We're going to be here talking about this great game all through the evening, all through the night, into the morning. Stay with us.
Jaipur via Kota.
कृपया ध्यान आपको अहमदाबाद
दिल्ली में आपका स्वागत
ನಿಲ್ದಾಣದ ಕಡೆಗೆ ಹೊರಟಿರುವವರೇ
Hyderabad 50 Express পরবর্তী স্টেশন নেতাজি ভবন। कृपया ध्यान दें